The roar of applause surrounded me, loud enough to rattle my bones, but it wasn't for me. Not truly. I stood in line on the stage, my black graduation robe hanging just right, cap secured, the gold tassel grazing my cheek. The announcer called my name, Samantha Reed, Masters in Clinical Psychology. I stepped forward, head high, smile forced. Flashes from cameras sparked in the crowd, but none came from my family. Their seats, 5 in the center row, were empty. Before we dive in, leave a comment below and share where you're from and which city you're tuning in from. After reading this whole story, let us know what you'd do in this situation. Be real. Drop it in the comments. We read every single one. Let's get started. I'd known they wouldn't show. They were probably toasting with champagne flutes right now, fading my younger sister Danielle's bridal shower in my parents' backyard. Still, those empty chairs seared into my heart like acid. I took the diploma folder from the dean, shook his hand, and held my smile until I stepped off the stage. My heels clicked sharply on the floor as I moved to where the graduates were gathering. I opened the folder expecting the official document with my degree. Instead, an envelope slipped out. Plain white, no return address. The paper felt thick, expensive. My name, Sam, was written in a familiar, tidy script. For a moment, I thought it might be from a professor, but my fingers paused. The crowd's hum faded, replaced by the sharp buzz of my phone in my pocket. I pulled it out. 72 missed calls, all from Mom, Dad, and Danielle. The buzzing didn't stop as I stood frozen, my thumb hovering over the envelope's flap. My stomach knotted, my breathing grew shallow. Sam! A voice snapped me back. It was Rebecca, my closest friend from the program. What's wrong? You look pale as a ghost. I shoved the envelope back into the folder, my pulse racing. I don't know yet. My phone lit up again, another call. Dad. I declined it without a second thought. Rebecca's brow furrowed. Why aren't you picking up? Because whatever it is, I glanced at the crowd, the lights, the noise, it'll ruin today and I'm not letting them have that. The words tasted sour but felt true. I wouldn't let them steal this moment. Not again, but the phone kept buzzing, names flashing like a warning sign. My skin prickled, my hands sweaty. I could feel the envelope pressing against my arm through the folder. By the time the ceremony ended and we stepped into the bright afternoon sun, I'd made up my mind. I was going to open it. I moved away from the chatting graduates, the smiling professors, and the rows of parents snapping photos. I found a quiet corner of the building, the air cooler here, shadows slicing across the brick. I slid my finger under the envelope's flap and pulled out a single folded sheet. 4 brief lines in that same neat handwriting. As I read them, my heart stopped. My legs nearly gave out. For the first time all day, I understood why they'd called 72 times. My hands shook so hard I almost dropped the paper. The handwriting was precise, steady, but the words hit like a punch to the stomach. Samantha, what you don't know will change everything. Your grandmother's estate was never split. You're the sole heir. Call my office now, before they do. Miriam Turner, attorney at law. I read it once, twice, 3 times. My pulse thundered in my ears. I hadn't even known my grandmother had an estate to split. My parents always said she died with nothing but debts. They'd even chuckled about it, like the woman who raised my father was a burden.
I can't tell you the full story in this short video. If you want to see the full story, the link is given below. Click on it to watch the full story.